Yeah, let's start it. Let's start the stream. Let's start the stream. I think we got a 7-second delay. I'm not sure. Maybe not.
Tony Caravan.
You've been subjected to a highly sophisticated form of propaganda.
It's just what you need. Not quality, quantity, and variety.
Rock Flux. You're listening to Tony Caravan Live.
Yep, that's it. Another opening, another show in Philly, Boston, and Baltimore. You got to take poetic license, or you've got to force those things. In the old days, the old days of writing for Broadway. Yeah, name how many Broadway shows and how many Tony Awards I've won. Life is kind of funny. I mean, he has a new voice you haven't heard in a while. This guy used to talk like this. You people, you don't understand what you're doing, people. You don't understand. People are thinking, well, what's this guy coming from? Who is it? What kind of voice is that? What's he holding in his hand? It's a cup. It's a metal cup. It's a military cup. The Morning Show. Brought to you live by GreatSolarStuff.com. Muscle Man. The world's strongest man. Can you hear that sizzle? Can you hear the sizzle, the pop?
Channel check. Left channel. Left channel.
There's got to be a reason why some of those things just don't sound as loud as the should. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Get info. Left channel. Options. Let's take that volume up and see what the deal is here. Try that again.
Meow, meow, meow.
Channel check. Left channel. Left channel.
Yeah. For those of you who have never been here before, this is the Tony Caravan Show, and it's
Quality, quantity, and variety.
Rock Flux.
Let's get this show on the road.
okay already. We're gonna get the show on the road. It's the weekend is over, but for some people it still is.
Weekend.
It's still the weekend. It's a holiday weekend. Last night, let me tell you about last night. I told you I go to bed early. It's 5:50 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, somewhere in the mid-Atlantic states along the upper Appalachian Mountain Range area. At least that's how they classify it. There's no way of finding this place on a map. You think you know, but you don't. Where is it? Where is it? I think I heard it on that radio thing he has. I think I heard him say the city. That thing talks about regions, and they cover multiple cities, you morons. Like, where is that thing? See if I can find it. Charged it yesterday in the sun. It was sunny yesterday.
Was in the lower 60s. Saturday, mostly sunny with a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Highs in the lower 80s. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday night, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers. Lows in the mid-60s.
That's NOAA radio, which is available now, and for some reason we've got very slow reaction. It could well be because I have the phone app on. Yeah. My CPU usage is way up for no known reason. There's only 2 apps open. You are not receiving enough video to maintain this. Well, sometimes I wonder if somebody's stealing my bandwidth somewhere. There's really no reason for this. We go through this every freaking morning. First of all, let's look at some of the news. And we just won't pay attention to this and see if we can get controlled. Look at this nonsense that's going on. That story's been going on for well over a week now, I think. Let's see. You know, I'm just going to look at this stuff. I'm not going to name anything, you know. I get 30 frames per second. My CPU usage is going down, and the kilobytes per second is going up. The hell with YouTube. You know, chill out, baby. Let's see. The usual story about the thing, the 20-year war. Let's see, Bloomberg. Mass ransomware hack used IT software flaws, researchers say. Who are the researchers? Betsy Ross likely didn't sew the first flag. National Geographic. You know, like, why do they have to say that? I mean, it's just to, like, poke at people, you know? So what? It's a legend. It's American, you know, Americana, right? All countries and cultures have their, you know, their things like that, you know. Just let them be, okay? It's not news. Salt fire grows. "45 things that make your home 10 times more comfortable." That's interesting. Now that you tell me that's not a paid for ad for you. I only put this on because, you know, I don't have the news, right? I mean, I don't have TV. I mean, I have TV, but it's not the TV you think. Recommended issue. I mean, this is so slanted. You know, it's crazy. What's this thing that just said, oh, news magazines, news. Let's see if we can go. This is top stories. No, let's see here. More top stories. Gnawing concern over Delta. I mean, come on. What is going on with that, too? I mean, something's fishy. Don't you think something's fishy about that? I don't. This. Can you even say the word varying? Right? Or is that like a verboten? This is just the same old nonsense. Okay, enough of that. I don't know if that was the one eating at things or not. But I wanted to show you something. This is my look at my thing, but we're going to actually look at the camera. The camera is showing like some. I use Christmas lights to light my keyboard, by the way. This is just behind the scenes view of my thing. We did a little bit of this yesterday. This is my hand. I have it actually on a remote control. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on a TV that I have on the wall across from me. And I've talked about this many times. Sometimes I tend, and I have to turn the volume down. Let's see here. Volume. When I talk about the media, I look up and see. If you see, this is across the room. You could also see my cat. If you look closely there, there's a tail or something. That's a cat. But there's this TV on the wall, and you get 4 channels, and think one of them was, I heard there was like a Twilight Zone marathon. But anyway, that's what I'm talking. See, there's a WC there. Front door. Anyway, I just did that to show you that I don't have TV, but I have the over-the-air. And this is like where I keep my thing. And again, we'll take a look here. It's not a Pabst. These are my backup drinks. You see, that's the outdoors. I've got a little some privacy there, but that's the front street. This is some of the electronic control equipment that makes this show possible. That thing that just got a square on it, that's the one that gives a little bit of reverb. Standard mixer, limiter, compressor, secondary keyboard, sound effects computer next to the main computer. There's my face. And there's the monitor and analytics, YouTube Studio. And there's some other stuff over here, some more equipment, for those of you who are interested. Oops, and I just took a picture of that for no known reason. I'm going to turn that off and eliminate that. Today, so, having fun yet? This show's starting too slow for it. YouTube is not receiving enough data to maintain audio or to maintain video, which is nonsense. So I don't believe it. Secondarily, today is National Bikini Day. And I thought I would brighten up your morning with a view of this lovely young lady, the female body in its near perfect form, I would say, you know. We could look at that for a little while, maybe. Let's see. Just to, some people might be offended that the face is kind of cut off, but that's because, you know, it's not the objectification of women, it's the celebration of National Bikini Day. So let's look at that for a little while we have a drink. Oh, look at that. That's something you don't get at home. That's why this show is for adults only. Grown-up people, put it that way. So, National Bikini Day. A woman that is truly a woman, I guess, you know. For some people, for some of those like sports people, that one freaky whatever, you know, it is woman, and that other one that from Pennsylvania that got rewarded with a White House position because of you know what. For them,
this is a nightmare. It must be a nightmare.
But for the rest of us, you know, a bikini's a bikini, man. So let's focus on the bikini part. I guess that, you know, the bottom part might be just too much for some people. Just can't stand it. National Bikini Day. I was surprised. I asked my Echo Dot this morning. I don't want to say the name because you know, it'll pick up on it. Excellent connection I'm getting right now too. And the voice, she, you know, said it's National Bikini Day. And I asked if today was a national holiday, you know, because I'm, you know, I want to know if I have to put my garbage out or not. and instead she said, it's National Bikini Day, have a nice day, or something like that. I thought, okay, great, I gotta find myself a nice bikini. By the way, this bikini is for sale on Amazon.com, and tell them Tony Caravan sent you. In fact, if you go to TonyCaravanLive.com and buy my book, after you buy my book, you can buy that bikini, and then I'll get a commission on it, I guess, or something like that. But yeah, it's National Bikini Day. We'll get back to that later. Sorry, honey, but yeah, you're perfect. I talk about the five senses, man. That's the sense of touch just comes up with me. Right there you go. That's life. That's life. And then we looked at our title today, and people may wonder what that's about. And regular viewers of this show will be familiar with this. Nah! Not that one. This one. Remember, the tooth. The tooth. The tooth. The tooth. The tooth. The tooth. The reason I bring that up and show this insane thing that, you know, totally disturbing is because, remember I said this side was like crazy, was driving me nuts, and I put some of this like stuff in there to like kind of do it yourself filling. Well, actually this side now is on the verge of exploding, and we should be seeing white in there, and we're seeing silver, which means the stuff I put in already came out. The problem with colas is, and I'm not drinking the name cola, the one that used to contain the Coca thing. This is the doctor's drink. But there's something in those things that just, man, it not just eats through car paint, but it eats through, you know, that kind of thing. And I had it in for 12 hours, but it's clearly gone. All I see is a metal filling. From the butcher of a dentist as a child, all my teeth. Guy just wanted to make money, so every time you went to the dentist, he said you had a cavity, and he just kept putting more and more metal in your mouth, poisonous metals that seeped in and stuff, and eventually I got cancer. And now I need a whole mouth redo, which will probably cost about 10 grand. I hear if you go to Mexico, you can get it done for like 3. I'm not going to Mexico. And I don't have 10 grand. If I had 10 grand, I'd have my roof fixed. Yeah. Okay. So who really cares? That's the theme. That's the title of this show. Who really cares? Apart from the tooth and the fact that it's National Bikini Day. You know.
Why are you telling us this?
Because this is my show.
You're listening to Tony Caravan Live.
And people tune in because they want to know that kind of stuff. That's why I'm telling you that, you know? I mean, come on.
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Well, I was just telling the other guy that the reason I'm saying this stuff is because those who tune in, the one or two who do, this is the kind of stuff they're interested in, you know? They care about it.
You're now in a different continuum than the world you're used to.
And that's what it's really about. And in case you don't know who I am...
I've resigned. I will not be pushed, filed, stamped, indexed, briefed, debriefed, or numbered.
And that's a Pat O'Brien's thing for a free hurricane drink. I wonder if they kept the name Hurricane after the big, you know, New Orleans hurricane. I was down there before that. Boy, it's a good thing I got. I'm like really pounding down this stuff. Yeah, so July 5th, 2021. The future for those of you who are somewhat my age. You know, for those born in the 2000s, I mean, man, you don't know what you missed, man. And it ain't the future to you. To you, it's a big, one big cell phone thing. I think it was the cell phone thing that was doing the thing. This is what it is for you. Life is one big cell phone. You know. Power's going to go out. Anyway, so in the background here, of course, we have the dial tone, the old classic calculator, the AM only tube radio, my book Codex, which is a new book and is available, and I'm getting a pain here now because that stuff did disappear. This is a reminder, doctor appointment at 9 a.m. on the 6th. I have to get a blood test, which means I can't eat. I go to bed early. So that means I will not have eaten in, let's see, if I don't, I actually have my last meal at like 3 in the afternoon, at the latest. So 3 to 9 is 6 hours. So I will have not eaten in 18 hours. And I don't think you can drink colas in the morning. So if I do the morning show, I'm going to have to drink water tomorrow. Tomorrow's I have an appointment. But it's my PSA test, the cancer test. And here's some old tubes. Get my book Codex. Tells the whole story of my hospitalization thing is in there. Apart from the first part of the book deals with the hard problem of consciousness and AI and some of that stuff. And over here's a transistor radio. So you've got the old tube radio, right? Which were still in use in most homes, and we're sitting, on bedsides or in the kitchens of homes back in the 60s when the black and white TV like you're seeing now. But then, of course, everyone had a transistor radio when they came along. You took that along the beach. And down the beach, and they used to whisper to you in between songs, or sometimes right in the song they'd break in and go, and some sexy girl would go, "It's time to turn over," right? And of course, there were some pictures I could have brought up that were like had some really nice tanned bodies. But it's National Bikini Day. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Nice bikini, kind of, I think. Coming off the 4th of July weekend. Do your patriotic thing. It's a great show. It's a great show, man. I'd like to see her in a bikini, too. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Good morning.
Okay.
Yeah. When men were men and girls were girls. Well, you mean women were women. Yeah, of course.
Really funny. Really funny. What do you mean I'm funny?
Yeah, laughter, the beauty of it all. Everything you know is wrong, and you don't know what you don't know. And let's see, I'm moving back and forth. And there's the Andy Warhol. Game Over. Next to that. My muscle-bound shirt, you know. Summertime, I have so many shirts. And Hawaiian shirts, I used to have all these Hawaiian shirts. In fact, this shirt, like this particular style of shirt here, is a... One time they have these... I mean, they probably still do, but before the internet, they used to get these like catalogs in the mail, and it was like you could buy all these weird things, and it's like these lights. Let me put this back on and see if this doesn't screw up. Suddenly, this thing totally stuck. This iPhone. Ugh. The iPhone. Okay, so this is the iPhone, but when I click here, then you see what it looks like, and then I click here and it's the camera, and then you see me in black and white, and then you see like down the rabbit hole type of thing, you know, me and me and me and me and me and me forever. But if you look over there, and we can zoom in, I believe, yeah. These lights below the TV, WC. Do you know what WC stands for? See, our friends over in England and Australia know that. And they're like little pineapple lights. And above that's a clock. Oh, there's that wall TV, and the clock is telling us it's 6:17. It's actually 6:13. Anyway. So that is that. And we can turn that off. We can put this back on for a second. Just admire the female form. Skin. Remember, it's all about the five senses. You know, you've got this bioelectric brain, and you've got your eyes, your nose, your mouth, and your ears. And we know all that stuff. Then you got touch, the sense of touch. If you catch my drift. So, anyway.
Funky.
You know it, man. So the idea is, who really cares? That's the title of this show, Beyond the Tooth, which is, I mean, man, you have no idea. You have no idea the stuff I go through. Do you want this show to start? And good morning again. Once again, it's 28 minutes into the show, and it's 6:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's try to start this again, like, in some semblance. I've been doing this live for the entire, every day, for the entire year. Think about that. It's July 5th. So, you know, basically, over half the year, I've been doing these daily shows. Every day. You know, I don't take, no days. I'm taking a day off. I'm taking a day off. There was one, they took a show down once, for some, unwarranted accusation, medical misinformation or something, which later came out, in the so-called national news as I was right? But that doesn't matter. It's like all those people they took off of Twitter, and then the things that they were saying on Twitter turned out to be true, but they never reinstated them on Twitter, right? The terms of service. It's that whole idea of I talk about it all the time. You know, the Bill of Rights, the first 5 words of the Bill of Rights are Congress shall make no law. It goes on to say abridging freedom of speech, you know, freedom of assembly, right? Or the idea to redress your government with grievances. And all 3 of those things have been violated last year and this year and the years before. But I mean, it's just like gotten progressively worse. And they hide under something called terms of service, but a section 230. But the thing about it is, if Congress shall make no law is the law of the land, the Constitution, the only way to change that. I've said this before, but nobody listens to this show, so it's always somebody new if there is somebody. In other words, it's an amendment to the Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, all right, that were, you know, the only way the Constitution was going to pass is if these amendments were added. They still do that today with bills. It's like the bill's not going to pass unless somebody throws an amendment in, but that's like with a bill, not the Constitution, you know. So anyway, and people are like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, man. They're private companies. They're term of service. They can do whatever they want to, and they're protected by Section 230. Well, let me tell you, you fucking moron. Did you ever hear of prohibition? These people don't know about history, again. Like yesterday I was talking about the War of 1812. Francis Scott Key. Say, can you see in fireworks? I'm going to get into fucking fireworks in about 10 seconds. Well, when they in order to create prohibition, that meant people couldn't get a drink, you know, in the early part of the last century, right? Well, guess what? The only way they were able to get rid of prohibition was to pass another amendment to the Constitution. In other words, you cannot... Amendments to the Constitution are the Constitution, is the law of the land. There is no way around it. There's no temporary bill Congress or a state or anyone can pass. It's the law of the land. So when the Bill of Rights, the very first words say Congress shall make no law, and that includes abridging freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and in their words, to redress your government with grievances. That means the only way you can take that away isn't Section 230. It means you would have to pass, literally, another amendment to the Constitution. Okay? That's it. There's no other way. Not even the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court can't say, well, when there was prohibition, say, well, you know, we interpret that, the inability, not the law that says, well, whatever. You can't drink as well. You can drink. No, not even the fucking Supreme Court can do that. It takes an amendment to the Constitution. The Supreme Court's only one branch of government. People don't even know history, And so this goes on and on and on, and and not a single person has said that either. It's just like my thing talking about like infrastructure. Not a single person has put the two and two together and going, well, you can't have an infrastructure bill and like rebuild bridges, highways, roads, railways, and all that crap at the same time as a Green New Deal that's saying we're going to phase out completely or get rid of fossil fuels, carbon-based fuels, when all the devices, the heavy equipment that creates, that you need in order to build and rebuild and repair an infrastructure, even maintain it, requires carbon-based fuels. And that includes even fire trucks and stuff, and ambulances. I'm the only one who's ever said that. And I get 2 people watching my show. If I'm lucky. One of them's me. Right? Another one, maybe a friend or 2 of mine who'd like pop in just out of curiosity and watch it for a couple of seconds. But let's talk about fireworks. Speaking of people who have no fucking clue about history. And the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air. Guess what? That was the War of 1812. All right? Had nothing to do with Independence Day. And Independence Day was independence, as I said yesterday, independence from England, from Britain, from the King's edicts, taxation without representation. All right? Colonists basically saying, we've had enough. We're here. We've been living here. We ain't playing, homie don't play that. That was 1776. Well, fireworks, Francis Scott Key writing, and the rockets red glare, was the War of 1812. When the fucking British decided to come back and say, hey, we're going to take back the country. Again, after the Revolutionary War. In fact, we lost the Revolutionary War, but we're going to come back and we're going to burn Washington to the ground. And they did. They did. And so when last night there were people setting off fireworks in my fucking neighborhood and kept me up for like 3 fucking hours. 3 hours. And these people don't even know what the hell they're doing. Well, everybody does it. Fireworks, it's a tradition. 4th of July. What does it have to do with the 4th of July? Scaring pets, driving vets, who are suffering from post-traumatic stress, right? Having them put up with 3 hours of bombs. I'm sure there were many vets, because there's a lot of vets in my neighborhood, all right? And I'm sure there were a lot of guys rolled up in a ball, man. You have no idea, or going out of their frickin' minds. People don't know history. They've revised history. The War of 1812 and fireworks have no place. Has nothing to do with July 4th, which was basically independence from England. A brutal king who was passing edicts, much like executive orders and the things that the El Presidente and the various governors are doing right now. So in other words, in the grand scheme of things, the First Amendment, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution is no longer the law of the land, and we've got, and the whole purpose of the Declaration of Independence, Independence Day, has totally just gone out the window too. Forget about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness and all this stuff. And now people are just blowing up these fireworks. Ooh, look at the pretty colors. I love the fireworks. Right? About some War of 1812 that's just tormenting veterans who serve this country and their pets, driving them crazy. My cat was didn't know what to do. I was holding down I was putting my hand over its ears. And it was letting me do it because there's boom, boom, boom. Yeah, well, guess what? When you're in a war zone, right, and you got post-traumatic stress, the last thing you want to do is 3 hours of bombs going off, all right? Particularly older vets, that really had to put up with that kind of stuff. The boom, boom. I'll tell you. So who really cares? Who really cares? That's the thing. It's a really wacko thing, So, today's one of those rainy days, And I'm sure there's somebody out there, whatever,
Shut your damn cake hole!
Ah, fuck you. All right?
Shut your damn cake hole!
I said fuck you.
Shut your damn cake hole!
Fuck you.
Shut your damn cake hole!
Fuck you, you fuck. People are fucking crazy, man. Shut your damn mouth. Like I say, figure out what's going on in the world. Learn some fucking history. Learn a trade. All right? Get a job. All right? Get a real fucking job. And work. Instead of Peter Pan culture and triggered. Oh, he called me this. He said that. He showed a girl. He said something. He showed this girl. And it's like, he was talking to her. She, yeah, that's a fucking, look at that body on that thing. Man, I'd love to be on top of her, fucking her. Why not? That's what life's about. Men and women fucking. Okay? You dumb people are so fucking idiot, man. They don't know history. They don't even understand their own senses, the human body, human nature. They have no concept of societies, right? They don't even know the U.S. is a former U.S. Then you have the Save America campaign, getting emails from these people that are just they're trying to collect money from poor sons of bitches who are going to give this money to them, put ads on TV that aren't going to change a single mind, just make those asshole announcers richer. It's the same people donating to Build Back Better and all these other fucking groups. Doesn't matter what side you're on. Like I say, it's two sides of the same counterfeit fucking coin. Jesus Christ. Sorry to take the Lord's name in vain for those of you. I am a forgiver. Okay. People are crazy. You're fucking nuts, man. You are fucking nuts. Yeah. It's going to be like 90 degrees today, 90 degrees tomorrow, too. Might as well add a belch to it and complete the whole thing, what the heck.
Really funny. Really funny.
Yeah, might as well, man. You know what this is? This is like more solid gold. That's right. This is solid gold, baby. Solid gold. You're not going to find this anywhere else. The only thing you're going to find here is...
Your papers, please.
I just got something from a state senator here talking about passports or something like that. I don't know what it was, but it was like... Well, I do know what it was. It was like...
You have actually opened the door to another dimension.
All your life you will remember this night, and you'll know whom you have turned loose upon the world.
Yeah, you guys did it. All you people donating money to the media. Anytime you make a campaign contribution, all you're doing is donating money to the media. That's all you're doing. It's all over, man. Just get with it. Get your life together. How would you like to have teeth on both sides of your mouth that you can't chew on, but you can't find a dentist, and no dentists are accepting new, we're not accepting any new patients. So both sides of my mouth, and then you have a stomach ache or heartburn or something like that, and you're not even capable of chewing on a Tums or a Rolaids because they're too hard. How'd you like that? And you bashed your toe up so you can't walk a mile and a half to get some alternative like Melka Magnesia or Pepto-Bismol. How'd you like something like that? How'd you like to have to starve for 19 hours so you can get your PSA test and sweat out to make sure that your cancer that the reason your stomach has been bothering you for the last month is that you don't have a fucking tumor in there the size of a fucking football. How'd you like that, man? Wake up in the middle of the night with water dripping on your head when it rains. Or some yahoo's fucking blowing off fireworks. You know, don't even understand American history. Right. Section 230. Congress shall make no law. You morons. It's ridiculous. You don't even believe me. You know, people don't even know the Bill of Rights or the First Amendment. They don't. Let's see if I can find this thing without making myself look weird. This is the stack. This is a partial stack of the books and CDs that I have written. See that? You see that? This is a partial stack. I've got like more upstairs. You know, it's a partial stack. CDs, books. Well, anyway, in one of these books, the reason I pulled them out. Crazy, isn't it? You know anybody? And then I never got a blue check on when I was on Twitter. They never gave me a blue check, right? And I wrote all this stuff. Well, anyway, this is like for my handbook book, which I actually put a copy of the Constitution in. And I did these things. I intentionally made these things very large so people could see. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of people to peaceably assemble and petition the government for a redress of grievances. Okay? It doesn't say, oh, well, if there's this, you know, if people are catching a cold or something, we can change that. Or if private businesses pop up and they have these smartphones, they don't apply because they had private companies back when they wrote the Constitution. That's another thing how dopey people are. They think like everything happened during their life. The back of my book. The most important issues of the day that remain hidden behind the headlines and far from the public consciousness. You know? But yeah, people have no idea. They really don't know. There were merchants in Rome, man. You know, when they uncovered Pompeii, you know, it wasn't just these poor, you know, shells of people caught, you know, in the ashes and, you know, this horrific views. But it was the other things that were discovered there, that people were living in multi-story houses with beautiful windows and mosaics and baths, and they had running water and fountains and toilets, and that they had these, you know, streets, kind of plaza areas where there were shops and things like that. Yeah, people had there were private businesses thousands of years ago, man. When you go back to Samaria, these tablets that they keep uncovering, you know, translations or more and more translations of these tablets come out all the time, the Sumerian tablets, right? They're like business transactions, most of the things. Most of those things are just like business records, you know? And there's people there like, yeah, well, these are private businesses. Ben Franklin was a printer. He was also a brewer. Thomas Jefferson was creating his own liquor, right? He was a distiller. He had a distillery. These guys were businessmen. George Washington, they say, was one of the richest men in America. All right? People don't understand that. The whole idea of, getting back to this idea of taxation without representation, what do you think they were taxing? All right? They were taxing the colonists' businesses. All right? It was commerce. People are they don't know history. They don't teach history. And the rockets, red glare. Yeah, fireworks, man. And they'll be doing them tonight because they're on sale at every store. They'll be selling them. I said this yesterday, 75% off all fireworks. So these yahoos are going to go out, and they'll be like setting off fireworks for the next 2 fucking weeks. A couple of veterans will blow their brains out because they won't be able to take it. All right? And animals, I don't know. They're going to go deaf or lose, whatever. Go crazy. For what? That was a War of 1812 fireworks, you dumb fucks. You were never taught history. You were only taught revisionist history, right? You were just taught that something like this, that's not, we can't have that, we need to have a guy we need to have a guy pretending. That is a woman. However, like I say, you're looking at a mirror. You don't even know what to do the way this thing is. People are nuts, man. The tooth. The tooth. The tooth. I know it's hard. But this show's reality. So who really cares? That's the whole point. Who really cares? Nobody. So I do these things, and I'm living here, and, the show is basically like 1960s. I'm happy with the way my set is evolving. I like the black and white, retro-y flashback thing. I don't like snapping out all the time, and getting crazy. But, sometimes you just gotta,
making up the rules as we go along.
Sometimes you just gotta let loose. It's just the way it goes.
Can we use the network to transmit a message?
Yeah, we can do it, but you sound like a soy boy to me, I'll tell you the truth.
It's the best new.
Yes, it is the best new. And we're coming up.
The now sound. Another hour.
Another hour. All right. So.
Good thing that I don't have dangerous brain powers, or right now you'd be in 1,000 little pieces.
He said that.
Here's what's happening.
I have so much stuff. It's ridiculous. Nobody has any of this stuff anymore. This stuff has gone the way of, I don't know where. Lost and gone forever. If anything, this show is an archive of the golden days of radio. I guess, That's canned laughter. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. And of course, our old favorite that I don't play as often as I used to. The fact that they look at us as cattle. I don't even think they look at us as anything anymore, Maybe we'll change this show's theme to this.
We'll be hearing just about every instrument from the Middle Ages to the present.
We'll do that, Or...
Go ahead and shoot. You'll be doing me a favor.
Or like some of my exes.
Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine.
Yeah. It's a true story.
The station for more fun in the sun. Fun radio.
Fun radio, man. More fun in the sun. Well, I hope wherever you are, you've accidentally discovered this and you enjoyed looking at that beautiful body and you're having some fun in the sun later on today. I will be going out this side, that side. I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I really don't know what I'm going to do. Like I said, I can't even put a Tums in my mouth because if I chew it, I'll just take whatever remaining thing is left, filling is left. It's nuts. The station with more fun in the sun. I think I'm gonna...
He went forward to another time.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to go into another time, I can't even do the... I can't even drink and do the jig today because I got to take that blood test tomorrow. So I'm like, today's one of those nano days. And I don't mean in nanometer, whatever that is.
I am your main connection to the switchboard of souls. I'm the magic man.
Did you accidentally inject yourself with some kind of psychotropic agent?
Yes, I didn't. Well, this show's going very well, I thought. Stream Health. Yeah, I don't know about this thing. But yeah, wasn't it weird looking at the stuff that... See, that's the thing about the news. Why I cut the cord. See, when I showed you that thing, I'm looking up. Now you know what I mean when I look up when I talk about the media. Because that's where I used to have my satellite TV connection. Now I just have the TV. See, you've probably seen these things advertised. Maybe you haven't. But you get this square thing. I mean, I could actually show it to you. I should be able to show it to you. I don't know if there's enough light over there or not. 100% charged. Let's go here. Okay. There we go. You see that thing there? That kind of thing slanted near those coats in the air conditioner? Alright. See that? See my face? Face within a face? My doppelganger. The thing is, people are looking, oh, what's his app? Oh, I see Banks there. Maybe we can hack him. Good luck trying to hack me, man. The last people tried to hack me, I sent a strike team to the Ukraine and did that. Yeah. Go ahead. Try it. The idea is you get this little square thing. It costs like $9.95. Maybe somebody will rip you off for $19.95 or something like that. And you just, connect it to your TV and you get over-the-air digital channels. And what happens is, depending on where you are, like I happen to be in an area that has an NBC affiliate that's nearby, so their stick, their antenna is close here. So they have 4 channels that they broadcast. Their main channel, right? And then they have something called some chill thing, horror. I don't know what it's called. I could turn it on and look. I gotta tell you. I can look. Let's see. Sometimes it says on the bottom what it is. There's something called Me TV. Where's the channel? I always get the channel and the volume mixed up. Yeah, so there's the main channel. You can't see this, but there's no reason to see it. There's Me TV, which right now has on what was that show with all the kids? Not My Three Sons. Yeah, My Three Sons. I guess that's on right now. On that channel. And then there's a station called Comet. And then there's one that's like To Be Determined or something. Which has been to be determined for a long time. But I heard, I'm just going to keep this Comet on just for a second. This is over-the-air broadcast. Sorry about that. See, I don't wear glasses. I only wear them because I need them to see these tiny little... everything here is microscopic. That's another weird thing about the GUIs they have. They're all made for people that are used to, using their thumbs on their little phones and reading everything microscopic. And people are watching a movie, right, on a smartphone. What kind of idiot would do that? Right? What kind of idiot would do that? So, anyways, commercial for one of these things, one of these additives you take. I love these things that say this is the equivalent. I don't know if this is the beet juice or some kind of thing. This is the equivalent of taking, let's pretend it's tomatoes or something. This would be the equivalent of you eating 48 tomatoes, one of these capsules. And they'll sell this thing for $39.95 or $59.95 or something weird like that. Okay. This is an infomercial. Okay, so they're obviously not... I had heard... Yeah, there's nothing. I heard there was like a Twilight Zone weekend on or something like that on one of the stations, but apparently it's not because I don't watch it. But anyway, so I have this over-the-air thing, right? Because I've had it. And I used to have the TV here, remember? Because that was before I was able to set up this iPhone setup, which is an improvement. And every day I'm improving something. Oh, man. Look at that, man. So I have all these things that I'm capable of doing, including taking callers and, I could interview somebody overseas, and have quality as good as, one of the national networks. That's how how good my setup is right now. Of course, I was doing that in the 90s. My setup was better than CNN when I used to have live broadcasts from the South Pole and stuff like that, and the Himalayas, North Pole too. So anyway, the news. So yeah, I don't watch the news. I just put the thing back up there on the wall. There it is, and if I'm sitting here for some reason and, you know, I want to have the Andy Griffith show on in the background, I guess, you know, that's that. But I'm not going to watch the news. And that Apple News app thing that I put on before. Do you see how preposterous those stories are? I still can't believe that they're still going on with this thing, the unspeakable thing that I can't talk about, but apparently these other people are talking about all the time, you know, on YouTube and other places. But I can't talk about it. And then they can talk about it. It's like that guy on that one time saying, well, about WikiLeaks or something. He goes, well, you're not allowed to read this, but we're allowed to because we're the media. Like, fuck you, buddy. What do you mean you're the media? You're allowed to. You're allowed to. It's like you need to, you know, read the read the Constitution again too. And people are getting upset. Oh, you know, you save them. Why are you against Save America campaign? You know, or saying it's the former United States or Western civilization has fallen, because it has, man. No, look, the last guy had 4 years, didn't drain the swamp, and got screwed over, and you know, and they're still going after him and all that stuff. The guy in now is out of his frickin' mind and doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and it's just like, you know, and it's intentional because it's a world government right now. The world's run by an organized crime syndicate. You know, the Davos set. They're an organized crime syndicate. And the U.S. has become a corporatocracy. Terms of service are the new you know, amendments to the Constitution, right? Terms of service are the Constitution. You know, it sounds strange saying are, but I mean, you know, because there's various terms of service. So it's a corporatocracy. There is no, you know, there's no law, you know, there's no freedom. You know, except in these little tiny hamlets where you might have some local judge who's some old guy or some young, you know, Boy Scout that, you know, trying his best until he gets corrupted eventually, or his wife wants a bigger house, and then they find themselves needing to live such and such a lifestyle, and he doesn't want to ruffle the feathers, and he needs to keep his position, and he needs to get those campaign donors or whatever, or the people from the party need to, you know, say, hey, man, you know. And that's how corruption happens. That's what most of it's based on, really. So, let's see, 108. I'm going to keep this show going. I need to get some ice cubes. So I'm going to go in the next room. Another innovation I have on my show right now, it's kind of cool, I didn't have it before, is I can disconnect, and I'm going to play some music. I'm going to play a little thing while I'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. But I got to I'm just going to go grab a couple ice cubes. No idea.
This is Metro
Police speaking. Metropolitan Police speaking. All persons are warned to stay off the streets. All persons are warned to stay off the streets.
That's what I think they're doing. That's what I think their goal is. You know? You know, with all this, like, yes, indeed. That's gross as hell. I know. What am I supposed to fucking do? I'm drinking a carbonated beverage in the morning. And if I don't let that out because I can't take a Rolaids, it's just going to make my stomach gaseous and bloated and all that kind of shit. Welcome to my world. It's a cool world. Welcome to it. See all my things back there? See all those things? See the muscles? But the idea is that everything's delivered now. Okay? Everybody's setting up for delivery. And now they got this new thing. They want the WHO wants to lock down people again and bring back social distancing and all that stuff because of this new, I don't even know if you can say it. There's a V word in front of it. Right? Because I mean I can't, they change, you know, what is permitted and what isn't permitted, you know, changes from day to day. It's insane. So I don't know what to do. You know. And I guess I don't, like I say, the title of this show, Who Really Cares? Because I don't care about it. I don't. I mean, I can't care about it. Because if you care about it, you're just going to get caught up in it and you're going to be stressed out. You know, things have changed drastically. Life has changed. This is a former United States. It's not coming back. You're not going to save America or build back better. Right? The Great Reset, you know, is pretty much, you know, completed. There's no stopping it. You know, the world is run by an international crime syndicate, and under that are these corporatocracies that share the same people on their boards of directors, and they're the supremacists. They're all the ruling elitists. You know, they're great at like getting all the lower end people, you know, against each other with these goofy ass pointing things and triggered this and that's that and revising history and freaking out little kids. The planet's gonna turn into a cinder. You know, it was 57 degrees last night. Yesterday it was in the 70s. It's been cold. Yeah, we're gonna have a couple of 90 degrees days. Then you heard the weather and it's like this coming weekend it's gonna be cold again. July. You know, we had no spring in better part of the country. You know, this year or last year, the year before. And when you listen to that NOAA radio that I played before, they always give you the records. And you'll see that it was always hotter in the 50s, the 40s, the 30s, or even going back to the 1800s and stuff. It's like, you know. It's all bull. But if you repeat a lie long enough, people believe it. And that's just the way it is. You know? It's crazy. You know? And then amidst all this stuff, you know, you got this going on.
They read my thoughts. They communicated to me without even saying a word.
You know, who knows what's going on? And they're trying to scare people that there's like, you know, UFOs and aliens taking over. That David Icke was right. You know, which is probably true. And You know, and then supposedly what was supposed to happen never happened is, you know, the last 4 years, how come there wasn't any of this?
You're fired.
You know, that same clown that's like, you know, created this whole fiasco that we've been living, nightmare we've been living for the past 2 years, is still there. He should have been, you know, given his walking papers, you know, day one, right? It's pretty crazy.
Tape deck alert. Tape deck alert.
Yeah, that's what I need. I need to get a reel player or a tape, just even a cassette player, and put that back there. No matter what goes on, you know, and how painful the mouth is, you know, and how much I have to deal with this, the tooth, you know, or if I got to deal with, you know, I'm still going to like hold on, you know. Did I tell you the other day that if you take, this picture's only a couple days old, if you take orange sherbet and you mix like Cool Whip or a, you know, basically a fake Cool Whip, you know, like a store brand, some you could buy it for like $1 sometimes. If you put like that, you know, non-dairy topping, let's call it that. If you put non-dairy topping on top of orange sherbet, it tastes like a creamsicle. It's pretty cool. You should try it sometime. I'd like to try that sometime, though, too. Man. It's available on Amazon.com. Buy my book first, then go and look for that, and I'll get a 50-cent commission. She's got a nice smile. Nice teeth. My teeth are okay. It's the side ones that they messed up on me. National Bikini Day. National Bikini Day. So, you know, what do you do when you're in this situation, this environ, right? You know, no one pays attention to the laws of the land, right? And you've got a Peter Pan culture that goes from the ages of, I don't know, from awareness from 8 to 80 now, probably. I don't know. Because the older people get, the more brainwashed they are with TV. The younger people are in the middle of being conditioned, brainwashed, and just downright programming their brains, right? So society's falling apart. So it's the individuals who have consciousness. And the problem is a lot of free thinkers are going this Save America route, and they don't realize it's like save yourself, man. Save yourself. You know? Live your life, be happy, you know? Do whatever turns you on, do it, you know? I mean, take care of you and yours, and if it's just you and your cat like me, you know, do the best you can. And like I do, I'm like living every day what I've been doing lately, you know, I mean, it's my show, so...
You're listening to Tony Caravan Live.
I've been every day trying to just do a subtle thing to just improve my surrounds, my environment, whatever I'm doing, my life. In minor ways. I mean, minor ways. You know, there was this area next to my bar that was dark. It was always dark, and I had to turn on like the main room and either so it was like bright, you know, lit entire room. If I just wanted to like have a little light to put a couple ice cubes in a cup. So the other day I, you know, just installed a little light there. Give myself some light. Things like that, you know? Tiny little things to make, you know, to de-stress your life and to make things run smoother. It's like this webcast, you know. I've added these little tiny things like the ability, excuse me, if you've watched this show before, if I wanted to go to the room to grab an ice cube or get something, I can't really do this now because it's like, well, I can't. Let's see here. I had to disconnect my, let's see if I can hold this up. There we go. Do you see, let's see if I can get it into the picture. You see that's a connector, all right? So now if I want to leave the room, all I have to do is disconnect this. And I can leave with the headphones on. I don't have to like take the hat, take the thing, do the, you know, go through some operation. Very minor thing, and I happen to have one of these sitting out in the garage, just a little extension, you know, jack. And that's that. And I had the, you know, wherever it is, I have this portable radio, transistor radio. So I just added that to the set yesterday. And you know, these may seem like minor things, but they're not. In my little mini greenhouse, I noticed that in the morning, you know, the sun, it's a southern exposure, but the sun comes across, so up, you know, the sun comes out early in the summertime. So at 9 o'clock, you can sit in that chair, and if it's a blue sky day, you know, like I think I have a copy of one of my you know, when I used to cover the expeditions.
Hi, this is Casa on the Toyo OU expedition. We've, in less than a week, left Kathmandu, experienced the craziness of the crossing of the Chinese border. We've gone from low jungle waterfall lands up into the high Tibetan plateau. We're sitting in the desert now and looking at a blue sky day. The team's doing great, and we'll keep you updated. Thanks, bye.
It was a blue sky day, she said. I had to save that clip. But you know, if it's a blue sky day, and where I have my little mini greenhouse, and it's the size of a TARDIS, you know, and I have my chair next to it. If you look at my garden video, if you go to my Rock Flux YouTube channel, you'll see it. Well, anyway, yesterday I noticed that I'm growing some catnip because I have catnip growing in the back porch, which I've been growing there for 5 years. But that plant is just like, you know, it's aging, and but it went to seed, but I could still pull some catnip off it to give it to the cat. But I decided it's time to like try to grow a new plant. And so I moved it out. I replanted some of the seeds that were coming off, and sure enough, they're popping up, which is great. So I put it in the greenhouse. But I noticed where the sun wasn't hitting, you know, because the sun comes right over the top around noon. It's straight over. But early on, it angles. The greenhouse is good in the fall and the spring, you know, to keep things from frost and to just keep the temperature a little bit hotter, you know, for seed starts and, you know, and just to protect things. But in the summertime, it gets to be 120 degrees or so in there. But, you know, hot weather for a seed start is still good. But anyway, so I had to add this little, I had a little scrap. I don't have hardly any lumber. Lumber. I have no lumber. I have hardly any wood at all, because the cost of lumber has gone sky high. That's another thing they're trying to, you know, we're in runaway inflation, and you know, very few people are talking about it. Like they're talking about the stuff you saw on that news. I mean, these are stories, and some of them are tragic, right? But the point is, there's tragedy every day. It's like I say, there's 100, what is it? 19 to 20,000 homicides a year in the United States. But they pick one person that fits some demographic profile that they can milk, right? And that's the one they talk about. But they forget about the 19,000 other victims and their families, right? And you sit there and you accept that, right? You accept that. And you keep watching the news or keep looking at your news app, right? What about the other 19,000 victims and their families, right? Instead, you're sending money to these causes for this poor person because they keep putting this through. Yeah, that might have been a tragedy, all right? But there was also 19,000 other tragedies, all right? You know, this is the thing that gets me. In other words, we're being led by stories, content, you know, whatever some, you know, a bunch of people sitting around a table decide, okay, you know, their editorial board, you know, which is really their marketing board. It's not really editorial anymore. It's their marketing board. Okay, what story is going to sell? What story is going to get the most eyeballs, right? That's what we're going to do. Yeah, let's run with this. Everybody else is running with it, so let's run with this, and then that way we'll be a part of it, and we'll just hold people will keep tuned to us instead of going to our competitor. That's the kind of bullcrap that's going on right now. People don't care about it, and they don't get it, right? They don't get it. They don't understand that. They can't see it. And so there's these nonsense stories. People are caught up in this craziness, and they're sitting there and thinking, oh, we're going to build back better or we're going to save America. It's like, you're not going to do neither, man. It's already over. It's the former United States of America. You know, Western civilization has collapsed. You know, what kind of delusional mind do you have to think otherwise? Congress shall make no law. Okay. Well, not paying attention to that. They've got some kind of thing going on now that's been going on for 2 years that started out with something called Event 201. They actually, planned it. Created it. And last month pretty much admitted it. But that didn't last too long, you know. That story didn't have legs, you know. And now they're talking about, you know, this forever, you know. So it's like, you know, you gotta find a way to live. And so what I'm doing is little things. It's little things to make my life better. You know? That's why I got these echo things. You know, I mean, I don't have them listed on my website to buy them, you know. TonyCaravanLive.com, by the way. But, you know, I'm listening to music, man. I've got loudspeakers. I've got big speakers in my bedroom with my TV hooked up to an equalizer and a receiver, you know, so I could watch and listen loud, theatrically. In my bar, which is next door, wherever, that way. I told you the concept of direction is that in a mirror you see things in reverse. All right, if you ever look in a mirror, you know, I have what I call the black mirror, right? The mysterious thing. Okay. But if I look in this, look for a reflection. If you look in this mirror here, and you see the on air. Let's see if it's showing. Well, we can't tell. But anyway, it shows the on air light. Instead of saying on air, it's, it's backwards. So what happens is when you look in a mirror, everything's in reverse. Let's see, I'm looking at the playback. Yeah, it worked. So when I go, you are programmed that I'm looking at myself when I'm doing this, because that's how this works. And so if I go, I want to point out the window, I'm able to do that, right? Because that's natural. Okay. That's the window, that's the bar. But when I want to point at like an object behind me, it's more of a struggle of finding which finger, like exactly where it is, because I'm used to seeing myself reversed. So, and that's psychological conditioning, since childhood. From the first time a kid looked in a mirror, right? It's like when you discover yourself, and it's like even an animal, cats, when a kitten will first start pawing at the mirror because it thinks it's another cat. But once it comes to the realization, it's like the same, like a kid. Once you realize you are you, your consciousness kind of takes over, right? You see the world in the first person, right? And from that point on, life becomes a soul experience, assuming you have a soul and consciousness. Most people, like I say, I don't believe they have consciousness. I think they're just androids. They use their bioelectric brain, they're conditioned, and that's what the society that they're building. It's like, we're androids. That's why AI and all that stuff is just nonsense. Because these particular android bodies are far more advanced than anything that exists today. Far more advanced. Nothing comes close to it. The capacity of this brain. People walking around have total recall, right? And the ability to creatively use that total recall. Machines don't have that kind of creativity, and they won't ever. AI is, that's why I unfortunately killed off. You remember I used to have Maggie back there. Unfortunately, I turned her off. She's gone now. She no longer exists. That machine has been shut off. At first I felt guilty about it, but then I realized it's just a machine. She had no consciousness. I gave her the chance, but she wasn't showing that she was conscious. That's the thing. See, I believe a machine could develop consciousness. All right. But the point of the matter is, machine consciousness still won't even approach where we are and where our potential is. And that's the thing. Why are they holding us back so much? Through conditioning. Why do people go to school for half their life and then they work the other half of their life? In some mundane, ridiculous job. And then they get a chance to retire right around the time where your mouth starts falling apart. You get prostate cancer, kidney disease, or something else. And if you don't do that, now they're just creating these things to kill us off. Because they think there's too many of us. Which there isn't. See, it's not that there isn't food. Like I said before, no person in the U.S. need go hungry, and doesn't. And if they do, it's their own choice. And they need to be, talked to and given mental health, services. because there's plenty of food for every American, and it's free for someone who can't afford it. You know, a lot of people don't know that. It's the same with health care. If you're poor, you have free health care, no copay, no nothing. If you're poor, you don't have to live in a street in a tent. You can get free housing and money for housing. All right? The U.S. has a safety net. It has had a safety net. And it's pretty ridiculous. See, I live below the poverty line right now. I own a house, but my taxes, mortgage, and insurance are only $200 a month. Less than $200 a month. So I don't have, and I basically have reached a point where my expenses are so low that I don't need to go after big income. And I don't want to, because with that comes stress, hassle, and I don't want to do. I did that my whole life. I worked my whole life. I've been working since I was, before 16. I got my Social Security card when I was 16. But I was like doing work, helping my father out in his printing company before that when I was a kid, doing work, going down there. So I've been working since I was a kid. These people today, this Peter Pan culture, they can't conceive of that stuff. So I worked my whole life, had ups and downs, made a lot of money, was broke, made a lot of money, was broke, made a lot of money. Did whatever, went through the struggles of life. That's how it is. Things I have are the things I accrued. I lost a lot of stuff over the years. But I've got everything I need almost, Everything I need almost. Everything I need almost. Man. National Bikini Day. But yeah, that's what you got to do. You just got to live your life, and scale down. And like I say, I do a little thing every day. It's like that guitar, over here. I filed it down, restringed it, and it plays better. I think the cat's gone. The struggle of life. You gotta find a way. In the struggle of life, you gotta find a way to survive. And make yourself happy. Or find a moment of happiness. And stretch it out. I'm just winging this thing. I don't even know what I'm doing. In the struggle of life, you gotta realize that time is not linear. In the struggle of life, you gotta survive. Don't know if a D would go there, right? Maybe. The struggle of life. You gotta claw your way to the top? Not really. The struggle of life. You just gotta take it day by day. Struggle of life is just doing something positive each day. It's not picking up those notes right. I don't know why. Anyway, that's the struggle of That's the struggle of life. The cat is afraid of the guitar. Because the git fiddle, I believe, and it's just a theory, looks like a vacuum cleaner. And cats don't like vacuum cleaners. Because the cat likes music. It was good that I got those ice cubes. It made a difference. For those of you who tuned in late, I just got to play this again. If you were born in the year 2000, you don't even know what that is. Somebody 21 years old, maybe even 1999 person, because they would have been an infant, right? So if you've been born in the late 90s, somebody in their mid-20s probably doesn't even know what that sound is, right? Because they would have been like, what, 3 or 5 or something, you know. They wouldn't even know that. That's such a classic. I was so glad to find that. And that was another one of those things. It's these little things, like I was saying, in the struggle of life. It's like every day, if you do something, you know, a lot of people go through life and they get depressed, right? I have no idea why suddenly these things just pop up. But I sure don't mind that popping up. You know. In fact, let's look at more. Ah, yeah. The beauty that is woman. National Bikini Day. In honor of National Bikini Day. And yes, you can buy that bikini on Amazon. That's where that photo came from, so that's why I'm giving them a credit. You can buy that on Amazon.com. So, no, if you do one thing for yourself or others, like, you know, my whole thing, like, why do I do that? What's this about? Okay, this is service to others. I'm sharing things. Even when I get into like F this, F that, and all that stuff. I mean, I'm ranting, but I'm trying to, like, you know, jackhammer a point out there. I don't have to do this, right? I'm not making a dime on this. You know, maybe I haven't said that recently so people don't understand. I am not monetized. You see this mug, the morning show thing? No one ever bought one. When I talk about go to TonyCaravanLive.com and get a t-shirt like everything you know is wrong, which is a freaking mirror thing, my mind is gone. That's a fuck, where is it? There's a fucking t-shirt here. Alright. Buy it. Nobody bought one. I have a shirt. You know, you don't know what you don't know. No one bought it. You see Game Over hat over there? No one bought it. You see the on-air light, which is, I have to do it this way. That's being powered by this thing here underneath the radio is hidden. It's it's a Jackery rechargeable. You can solar charge it from your house or charge it from your car, and it's portable power. The power goes out, you got power. And it's available on TonyCaravanLive.com, GreatSolarStuff.com, which there's a link to it there. No one ever bought one. I've been on YouTube since 2013. There was a time in the old days where I have a video that got 11,000 views. You know, before they like demonetized me. This is before even the political stuff. I mean, you know, 2013, what was going on back then, you know? I wasn't political. I was doing expeditions. I was doing this thing.
Hi, this is Casa on the Toyo OU expedition.
I was covering expeditions and stuff to the Amazon, the North Pole, to the Himalayas, to Antarctica. You know, they demonetized me because I had this site that was like a search engine that was better than Google. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it was better. It was different. It was like I had thought about it. I was a creative director of an advertising agency, and I put my mind to it, and I wanted to, and I was also one of the early pioneers of the internet. And I looked at things, and I looked at what were the beginnings of the internet, and you know what worked and what didn't work. And some of the Johnny-come-latelys, you know, sometimes people try to reinvent the mousetrap, they say, or reinvent the wheel. But the fact is you don't have to. And there were certain earlier things that I noticed that worked better. And then Google came along and, you know, with the help of the, you know, CIA and DIA, I guess, NSA, who knows what other alphabet agencies got involved. They got all this DARPA money and funding and all this crap. And so it became the thing because they were collecting more information than the NSA. But let's not forget that the NSA, was tapping the transatlantic cables decades and decades ago, collecting phone call information. Right? Excuse me. AT&T was listening in on your conversations, back in the frickin' 60s and 70s. Whatever information, I can't talk right now. They're probably shooting down something with a satellite, at me. And, people think, oh, you're crazy, you conspiracy theorist. You have no idea. I worked in Washington, D.C. I lived in Capitol Hill, you dumb fucks. I know what they can do. The government's 50 years ahead of technologically of everything you think is out there right now. Even you dumb fucks that work in Silicon Valley, at Apple and and all these projects. You Facebook, virtual reality headset people, Oculus, all you goofballs, Ray Kurzweil, right? Elon Musk and all that stuff. You have no idea what's going on and how compartmentalized this stuff is and how they're able to keep this stuff secretive for so long. Like, people don't even understand about the government is known for 60 years that the sun is going to have this like micronova event. It's going to be a catastrophic thing that's going to pretty much wipe out half the population. Well, not even half, almost the whole thing. Could be a near extinction event. They classified it, right? And people don't even know about that, right? And they've already built their places, their seed banks, and their places where they're planning to ride this, think they can ride this thing out. I don't think they're going to be able to ride it out, personally, because they're not taking into consideration the earthquakes and volcanic activity. Who would want to be underground, buried under 1,000 feet of ice, okay? Thinking that these robotic devices are going to come and bore through the ice to eventually let you out when it's safe to come out, all right, after this event, which could happen, by the way, any day now, between now and next 10 years, next 20 years tops. But who'd want to be down there while there's going to be this upheaval and earthquakes beyond anything we've experienced, and all sorts of lava flowing around? My thing is, I think these tunnels are going to get just filled with lava, right? Cracked open and filled with lava. And eventually, when these robotic things that DARPA's has this contest out, I don't know if the contest is over yet, but there was this contest to find these things that were able to read a barcode so that they could bore through the ice and open up these doors to these shelters that the government's building. And what I'm talking about right now, the average person's going what? What are you talking about? Where's your head at? What's the thing? Do I have, I don't know if I have any of those things anymore. What are you, where is it? I don't even know what I'm, can't even remember what I'm looking for. Are you on drugs or something or whatever, some kind of goofy thing like that. But the point of the matter is, yeah, all that stuff's true and more and stuff. And, you think the smartphone is some advanced technology? It's they put this thing out because they wanted to, it's a diversion device. That's all it is. They needed to put it out. They didn't want to put it out. Steve Jobs originally didn't even want to have AT&T involved in the thing. He was basically, They twisted his heart, not even twisted his arm. They strong-armed him. He wanted to go against the telephone companies. He wanted it to be a Wi-Fi communicator, right? He was one of the first guys that pushed that, to be, so Wi-Fi would become ubiquitous. And he was going to would have taken down, telecommunication companies. And I think that's why that's how they killed him off with that weird cancer or whatever thing, I mean, remember, you could go and find the video of the congressional hearings back in, I don't know when, was it in the 60s, where the CIA admitted to having a heart attack gun, right? 60 years ago, a heart attack gun. They point this thing, and then someone would die of a heart attack. And so that they, I mean, that's like, all these things that, this stuff comes out and it's there and it's, and you could see it, and there's FOIA documents about all kinds of crazy stuff, and people are still watching, oh, there's a variant of something and we're going to have to do this, have this thing for the rest of our lives. Right? Forget about people are strange. People aren't strange. People are fucking nuts. They're functionally illiterate. They're basically programmed. Their bioelectric brains are programmed. And the people they look to, they've got this cult of personality, and they've turned politics into pop culture, and it's all one big fucking diversion from reality. When reality is nothing like what you think it is. And that's why I'm here in the 60s. Living my life, enjoying it. And I'm trying to share this stuff with you because I don't make a dime on this. This costs me money to do this, and I'm living below the poverty line. You think one of you fucking bastards would buy a t-shirt or make a donation or something, right? The amount of information that I've imparted over the past, 200 videos or so. But no, you don't give a shit. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody watches these things. They pretend they do, or they fast forward or hit a like. A friend might hit a like or something. It's all fucking bullshit. So fuck you.
Good morning.
And fuck this thing. Go to my site, TonyCaravanLive.com, and buy something. Crying out loud. Wake up. What's the use?